Saw a video today on the best places to live for $1,000 a month. And when I looked at this list, it was about 10 countries roughly. And I figured I might do a video on this because they picked actually the cheapest countries to live in that were $1,000 a month. But yet when I look at this, it's nowhere close to being the cheapest because when you're paying out, 30-40% or more in taxes, is that a cheap place to live? I would always pick a cheap place where you're not having to pay out money to the tax man. You might be paying $1,000 a month for food and living expenses, but then you're paying out another 40% of your income to the government. I don't call that cheap. I'll give you some countries here that you can live in for about $1,000 a month. And, you can keep 100% of your money. You won't pay any income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. What's that going to be worth to you? That's about 40% in a lot of countries. Some of these countries are higher taxes than the U.S. And I'm thinking they're cheap at $1,000 a month, but then you're paying all this money out in taxes. I would pick countries and narrow it down to countries that are either territorial or pure tax haven status. There are very few pure tax haven countries that are cheap because they have to make up the tax somewhere through import duties. Where you end up with a lot of these cheap countries are territorial tax countries, none of which, there are only about 2 on this list that had a territorial tax base. Now, there are a few countries that do have pure tax havens status, where it is fairly cheap to live. I'm going to go over that with you today too. Also, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here and you'll get new videos automatically. And don't forget to hit that notification bell next to that subscribe button. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and ask for some help. Okay, let me go through these countries with you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each country, but I just want to do a comparison and tell you what I'm talking about. The list of countries, I'm just going to read them out to you real quick, was Georgia, Turkey, Cambodia, Peru, Colombia, Namibia, Ethiopia, South Africa, Argentina, and Malaysia. All right, now the only 2 on here that were actually territorial, and when I say territorial, they only tax income outside the country if you actually live and you reside in that country. But the only 2 on the list was Malaysia and the country of Georgia. The other ones, the taxes were awful. Turkey, 40% is their top bracket. Cambodia is 20%. In fact, Cambodia was the cheapest one. But all of these countries on here, except for Georgia and Malaysia, tax worldwide income if you're a resident there. So again, Turkey's 40%, Cambodia is 20%, Peru's 30%, Colombia is 33%, Namibia is 37%, Ethiopia is 35%, South Africa's 45%, Argentina's 35%, and then of course the 2 I gave you, Georgia and Malaysia, were territorial, so you can literally live there, make money outside the country, and not pay any income tax. Now, let me give you substitute countries that you can pick that I would choose that you can live for about $1,000 a month, but you don't have to pay any income tax, any capital gains tax, any estate tax, no inheritance tax, if the income is made outside the country. Okay, now I'm going to go through these pretty quick and give you some variations on this. The first one is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's got a territorial tax base. If the money's not remitted, it's got kind of the same system that Thailand has. Thailand has if you don't bring the money in the first year that you make it, it's not remitted. If you're not remitting it that first year, you don't have the tax on it. Then, of course, Malaysia is a territorial tax system. Ecuador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Belize, Dominican Republic, Georgia, the country of Georgia, Panama, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Philippines, and St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, St. Kitts and Nevis is the only one here that I would put in the category that you can literally live, trust me, $1,000 a month, folks. There's apartments over in St. Kitts I've seen for $500 a month in Frigate Bay, okay? $500 a month, okay? So you can, if you can get your cost on your food back and your other expenses, you can keep it pretty close to about $1,000 a month U.S. Now, I'm talking about a single person. You got a family, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do that. But that's still pretty cheap when you got no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. That's inside or outside the country for St. Kitts and Nevis. Okay, and that's why I picked and that's why I like St. Kitts and Nevis, because I think they have the cheapest overall no tax system of any place in the world. Now, you might not like the culture here, but you would have to decide that for yourself, okay? I do like it. I actually like it better than I did Panama. I lived in Panama for 4 years. Been to the Dominican Republic many times. I like the DR too. That's another one. But all of these, like I said, have territorial tax systems. Let me go through some other advantages they've got too that you probably should be looking for too. Is countries that allow dual citizenship on my list. And that is in case you decide you want to become a citizen later and you don't have to relinquish your other passports. And that is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And of course, that's an English-speaking country. Skip Thailand, they don't allow dual citizenship. You're going to have to pass a very difficult Thai test, very difficult language to learn. Forget Malaysia. It would take you years and years to get it if you got it, and then you're going to have to relinquish your other passport. But the ones I do like that do allow dual citizenship is Ecuador. Honduras and Nicaragua do, but only there's a very limitation of countries. Most of them are in Central America, and Spain is another one they have allowance on. But most of the ones they will not allow dual citizenship with. Belize does allow dual citizenship. It doesn't have visa-free to the Schengen countries, though, but it does allow dual citizenship. Dominican Republic does allow dual citizenship. Georgia, Georgia, to my knowledge, you're going to have to relinquish your other citizenship to get a passport there, but they do have a real good tax system. Panama does not allow dual citizenship. Costa Rica does not allow dual citizenship. Guatemala does allow dual citizenship. And St. Kitts and Nevis allow dual citizenship. Now, let me talk a little bit about the Philippines, because I had one person that sent in something about the Philippines the other day and said that I was wrong on the dual citizenship. No, I just don't get into all the details dealing with some of these countries, okay? There are, like, for instance, Honduras and there are other countries like Nicaragua, okay? They don't allow dual citizenship for 99, I would say 100% of my clients, okay? Now, there are people that live already in Central America that country does allow dual citizenship for. But it's not going to be for people that I'm dealing with, okay? And most people that are going there are not already from Central America that I'm dealing with. Okay, now let's look at the Philippines. Philippines does not allow naturalization if you're going there to get the citizenship. If you're already a Filipina, okay, yes, there are exceptions to that, okay, and you can go on the Citizenship Act. Wikipedia's got that. You can pull it up, but none of my clients are in that category, okay. I will probably never have a Filipina as a client. I deal with high-income people, usually people that are trying to get out of the U.S. and relinquish, or from another high-tax country like Canada, Germany. We used to have a lot from the Middle East, but I pulled away from a lot of those people because most of them didn't have tax issues and stuff, and we wanted to concentrate more in that area. But traditionally, Philippines does not allow dual citizenship on naturalization if you're going there to get a passport and citizenship there. Also, the Philippines, if you become a citizen, you just wiped out your territorial tax base, okay? Philippines has a territorial tax system as long as you're not a citizen, okay? If you got any more questions, just give us a call here. Also go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top button that says apply with us, fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically. We got over 500 of these. This is where you learn a lot of good information. And also, if you got a question or comment, just put it below, and I'd be glad to get back with you, see what I can do to help you. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.